All right. Okay. All right, Valerie, you can get in, get comfortable. Gonna make sure everybody's audio is working and make sure everything is streaming as it should. Okay. All right. Can you hear me? Okay, Valerie? Oh, I forgot to turn my little thing on. Do, do, do.
Connected.
Where is my mute?
Can you hear me? Hey, can you hear
Hey, can
me?
you hear me? Yes. Yes, I can. Yes. Turn off your volume. There we go. Okay. Just let me know if there's any questions that pop up over here. Okay. Let me unmute. Okay. Let me make that small. Alrighty. All right, Miss County Judge Valarie, how are you doing today?
I am good.
I
How
am
are
good. How
you?
are you? I am fine. I am fine. Okay, so we basically set up a little Q&A forum for you today to basically discuss your plans for 2024, your first year in office, and kind of what you have planned going forward. Um, if you want to just start off with like a little summary, we can do that, and then we'll get into some questions.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
I'm Valarie
I'm
Clark,
Valarie
and I'm the
Clark, and I'm
Lafayette
the
County
Lafayette County
Judge, and
Judge,
I
and
have
I have
been in
been in
office
office
for
for
a
a
year and
year and
almost two
almost
months
two
now.
months now.
The first
The
year really
first year
flew
really
by.
flew by.
I feel like we
I
got a
feel like
lot
we got a lot
accomplished.
accomplished. Um,
The road
the
department
road
has
department
worked
has worked
very
very
diligently
diligently
to get
to
things
get things
accomplished for
accomplished
the
for the
county.
county.
Um,
Um,
of course,
of course,
right after, I
right
don't know,
after,
it was a
I don't
couple
know,
of
it was a
months
couple of
after I
months
was in
after I was in
office,
office,
the
the
lithium talk
lithium talk
started. And
started, and
so that has
so that
been
has
a big
been a
stepping
big stepping
stone
stone
for not only
for not
myself,
only
but for
myself
our
but for our
county.
county. Okay. Okay. And do you have any big plans over the next few months for 2024 that you would like to elaborate on?
Well,
Well,
we're starting
we're
to,
starting to,
we've got a
we've
bridge
got a bridge
project
project
that is
that is
going to take
going to take
place in
place
the
in the
near future.
near
We've got to
future. We've
repair
got to
one of our
repair one
county
of our county
bridges,
bridges,
and we're going to
and
start
we're going to
working on
start working
that
on that
in the, I don't know, I'd
I don't
say
know, I'd
probably
say
within the
probably
next
within the
three
next three
months.
months.
And that's
And
going to be
that's
on
going to
County
be on
Road
County Road
22.
22.
And as I
And as I
gather more
gather more
information
information
from the
from the
state or
state or
RDOT about
RDOT
that, I
about
will
that, I
be
will be
posting it to let
posting it
people
to
know
let
that
people
there will
know
be a
that there will be a
detour and things
detour
such
and
as
things
that.
such as that. Okay. All right. Okay, so we'll get into a few questions. Just to let anyone know and that's watching, you can comment on the Facebook Live. You can put questions in there in the comments. I have someone watching that. Or if you're on YouTube, you can also put questions there as well. Okay. All right. So one of the questions came up was about community engagement. And there's a couple of different topics that we do have. How do you intend to engage with the community and gather input on important issues and things that may need to happen within the county?
Well, a lot of that stuff, like from my perspective, is I don't know about it unless somebody informs me about it. So if there's community engagement, things that need to be, addressed or talked about, I just encourage everyone to come, to call, come by the office and visit with me about it, because a lot of times I don't know about these things until, you know, they're already over, or, somebody got upset about something, or it's just talk. And then because I'm just not aware of some of the things that go on, not because I don't want to be, but I'm just not aware.
Right, right. Okay. Well, one of the things that I know one of the questions one of our people had put on the post was about the Exxon. I think there was a Exxon or lithium meeting. Let me find that question on there real quick, and I can tell you exactly what it was. I kind of wanted to know, did you have a summary of how that meeting went in Little Rock?
We haven't had that yet. It's going to be Thursday and Friday.
Okay, of this.
It's the 15th and the 16th. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the 15th and the 16th. Okay. That's the Lithium Summit, correct?
Yes, and I do have the privilege of sitting on the panel for the stakeholders.
Okay. Okay. Well, some of the questions that they wanted to ask, and I guess maybe you can carry these back, as kind of the main concern is, what is the workforce going to look like? Um, are those some of the things that we are discussing with some of these people, like Exxon and those people that we've already had those meetings with?
Yes. Now, Standard Lithium has been, we've just had a meeting with Standard Lithium, and we've had one with Exxon. And Standard Lithium was forthcoming to say that their facility would employ around 90 to 100 people. And in saying that, we have been building up a really good rapport with UACCH and Chancellor Holt to make sure that they have on hand the study and the knowledge that individuals, say, from Lafayette County, will need to be able to get these good jobs that these companies are going to bring in.
So kind of like a preparedness training.
Yeah, they're just going to make sure that they have it. That it's part of their curriculum. Like if there's a special class that, say, the UACCH may need to engage in, they'll make sure that they have that available to the students so that they can get the proper training and education that they'll need for these jobs.
Okay. What if it was someone that's not in school, or just, a regular citizen out here that's wanting to try to get one of these jobs? Is UACC, have you partnered with a relationship with them to have like a side program to have a job readiness for that demographic?
No, ma'am, I have not, but I will definitely put that on my list of things to discuss when I'm at Little Rock, because there'll be several educational groups up there at the meeting. And I know UACCH is going to be one of they will be representing as well, so I can gather that information and get that back to you with an answer.
Okay, because I know that's one of the things that I know I had a few questions about that. Like, we know that there are going to be students that are in school, but what about the people who are, not in school that still want to do a career change, or, maybe work there? Is there going to be someone that's going to be, or one of these schools, have we actually reached out to them to see if there's a training program or preparedness or something that can get them ready for that wave of employment that may come upon us as well?
Well, yes, ma'am. As far as the training, yes. I mean, yeah, like if they had to enroll in UACCH, for example, they would definitely have the training there that these companies would need, because they're gonna work with the companies,
Mhm.
to make sure that they have, like I said, all the curriculum that they need for, I mean, students straight out of high school, or individuals, like you said, who are wanting to make a career change but may need to take a few other classes. Yes, ma'am, that will all be readily available to them.
Okay. Okay. So how do you what are your thoughts? Just to step aside for a moment for the question, what are your thoughts of these changes that are coming into Lafayette County right now?
Well, my thoughts are they're very exciting. The unknown is a little, it's a little difficult for me to understand, because we haven't been given a lot of information, but I have actually been trying to prepare myself on how to lead my county forward during this lithium boom. And I reached out to a parish in Louisiana, and I've also reached out to a county in Oklahoma who had rapid growth. And I've talked to, Oklahoma has commissioners, and the gentleman from Louisiana, I can't, he's not a county judge. I can't remember his exact title. But and I've just asked them to, they've been very forthcoming and to help me and to give me advice on things that I need to, kind of start preparing for and looking at and watching, to make sure that Lafayette County is ready to move forward with this.
Okay. Okay. All right. Let's switch gears and go to one of our questions that were submitted. One of the primary duties as the county judge, you are tasked with the care of county property. After 1 year in office and the rapid decline of our county road system, what is your 3 year plan to address this vital piece of our county's infrastructure? When will we get back to an annual program for the county road departments to chip and seal our roads, rather than having contractors perform state aid projects which cover less mileage and are more costly?
Okay. Well, the first part of your question, as far as the rapid decline in a year, I don't really see where the road infrastructure has had a rapid decline. I mean, we have a lot of roads that need repair and maintenance by all means, but I wouldn't say that it's been a rapid decline within a year. And then, as your next question about the 3 year plan, for especially for me, it's hard for me to say that we have a 3 year plan, because we can only do, like, our budget is based off of our projected income, and for the road department, that comes basically, most of the money comes from the state, and then, from the taxes, from the property taxes every year. So it's hard to say, in 3 years, I can tell you we're going to do A, B, and C, because, as far as projected, revenue, I can't say from year to year that it would remain the same. And I'm hoping that with an influx of people, sales tax revenue goes up. So therefore, we will maybe have more money next year to budget with.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. And
And then,
are there any other state program or grants that you are actively looking at right now as far as helping with the roads?
Um, as far as the roads, there is a program called the, Unpaved Road Program, and I am working on trying to. I have to take, either myself or someone from the road department would have to take some classes on that. And once we're able to take those classes, we can apply for that. And that grant goes toward any road that has never had pavement on it of any kind. So, and that will be very beneficial to us. And that's, it's called the Unpaved Road Project. And then, we're also, applied for a grant at the beginning of this year for bridge repair, because, that's also an important part of our infrastructure.
Okay. Okay.
And as
Now,
far as
oh, go ahead.
and I was going to say, as far as the state aid, I pulled my book here so I could kind of inform, the listeners about state aid. And it gives, it says Arkansas Code Title 27, Chapter 72, Subchapter 305 provides that the revenues deposited in the State Aid Road Fund be allocated to each county as provided in Section 2772 309 of the code on the same formula as the road mileage for the state aid system. These funds will remain for a period of 2 years from the date they are allocated. Any unused funds shall be returned to the State Aid Road Fund for redistribution in according with the above referenced formula. And then it just breaks it down like for our county here. And so every year we're allocated a certain amount of money into state aid. And like it says, if we don't use that money, then we have to send it back. So that's why we use state aid, and that's an 80-20 match.
Okay.
The state pays 80%, and then the county only has to come up with 20% of the total cost of the project.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then as far as the chip and seal, we the county doesn't have an oil. I think it's an oil machine, and I think those are around about $200,000, somewhere in that. And I will say this too. I'm just going to use this total as an example. But say an individual lives in the county and their property taxes are $500 a year. Of that $500, $35.89 goes to the road department.
Okay.
A lot of people don't understand that. They think that, the majority of their taxes goes to the road department, but it doesn't. It's only a small portion of that, of their total um, their total property tax that goes to the road department.
Okay. Now, I know there was a question posed as far as.
Actually,
Oh, oh, go ahead.
it says Lafayette County School rule. It's 7.18% is what goes to the road department from the taxes.
Okay. Okay. Now, how do you prioritize the road maintenance and repairs?
Well, for example, like here lately, we've had all the weather elements to deal with, and you try to make sure that the way that I prioritize them is, say, someone has a culvert that got it blew out during the all of the water, etc. Well, you can't necessarily get to it that day or the day after. And then if it continues to rain, we have to wait until it quits raining and it starts to dry up somewhat. But we try to make sure that things like culverts are fixed and that the roads are passable for, I mean, for the people of the county. And some roads, by all means, stay in worse condition than others when it rains a lot, especially some of our dirt roads. And so we try to prioritize those first, and then we go back to the to try to fill the potholes, and then take care of the minor things, you know, as we progress with the way that we've kind of got it mapped out.
Okay.
I guess the way we prioritize it, we just try to make sure that, like I said, all the culverts and stuff are put in, and most of I mean, I'm very thankful and here in Lafayette County, because normally people they have two ways to access their property on most county roads. It's not like it's a dead end, and we have to just try to get to it right that second. Most people have another way that they can get into their property from, if they have to go the opposite way than what they're accustomed to. But we just try to prioritize it like that from, just to make sure, for example, like the school buses, just to make sure they can get up and down the roads for the kids. And then we just kind of prioritize from there down.
Okay. Speaking of when we have those rains and snow, Do we have any type of um, emergency preparedness plan with the county for those type
That's
of
going to fall
situations?
under, yeah, that's going to fall under OEM, Office of Emergency Management. But
Okay.
yes, he does have those plans. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So does he share those with you, or as far as
Oh
the
yeah,
road, as far as the roads and the emergency preparedness?
oh, it's well, yeah. If you're pertaining to the roadside, that would fall in my department. But what do you mean, like emergency plan? Like,
You have washed out roads because I think there was a situation with a like a culvert that had washed out. Sometimes there's trees across the roads, the county roads. I know I drove on a few the last rain we had that were completely overtaken with water. I do know that you said there's another access point for people to still get to their homes, but is there any type of emergency preparedness plan period that the county has to deal with those issues, or you just deal with them as they come up?
um, I'm almost certain we do have an emergency preparedness now. Felicia, if I put my hands on it right this second, I would hate to say that I probably could not. But just like, when the roads were flooding and stuff, we keep a very close eye on that. And I work really closely with OEM on that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And our OEM director and our 911 coordinator are both really good at helping me. They keep me informed on, look, these roads are probably going to, we need to get signs down there, we need to do this. I have a really good road superintendent who travels the roads, and I also have it's he's let me think, what is his title? He is the special roads coordinator or special road project coordinator, and him along with the road superintendent, they work really closely as well to keep me informed of the roads that are, they may not have water on them right now, but come nightfall they're going to have water. So that's why we try to put the signs out early to let people know that they're going to have to detour, etc.
Okay. 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 All right. Another question, which this is a few questions, so I'll probably ask a question and then we'll stop.
Okay.
Um, One of the big topics in government is transparency. Do
Mm-hmm.
you consider yourself serving as a transparent government official? If yes, why did multiple JPs, which are Justice of the Peace, voice concerns that they did not receive all the information regarding the initiative for jail expansion prior to approving the special election?
I would like to say I would consider myself to be a very transparent government official. And then, as far as the JPs not receiving the information, I did pull the minutes because I thought, God, I've got to refresh myself on this because that seems like so long ago. But it's in the minutes from that quorum court meeting. It said that Ray Beardsley with Cruz and Associates and attorney Michael Moore of the Friday Clark and Elledge Law Firm presented the information regarding the expansion and the refinancing of the current bond dealing with the jail expansion. So as far as the JPs not receiving the information, they were all present, so I'm not certain what information they may think they did not receive.
Okay. Okay. Um, the next question was why did you do away with the county Facebook page where we received information about trash pickup, road problems, and other details of county government?
Well, I did not do away with it. I can't tell you when that Facebook page started, but I do not have any of the credentials for login. And then I'm just going to be really blunt and honest. I'm not a big social media individual. I mean, it's probably obvious. You can look at my page and I did try to do better by, making sure to keep the public informed, with the road situation, especially a couple of weeks ago and all. But I don't, I didn't know, I didn't do away with it. I just don't have the administrative credentials to get back into it.
Okay. Would the previous administration have that? Because I think with the times that we're in now, a lot of people do rely on not just social media, but internet, period, as a database of information. Um,
Right.
which leads to my next question that was given, which was who is responsible for maintaining the county website site, and why are financial reports and minutes from the quorum court meetings not available?
And I have no idea who is over that website page. I did look it up to see, and like I clicked on, I pulled it up and I clicked on county news, and it said the last time anything was updated on that was in 2006. So I'm not certain of that, Felicia. I have no idea who who is over that at all.
Okay.
That's something I can definitely look into, and I can give you an answer as soon as I can find out that information. But I honestly I can't answer that because I don't know.
Okay. Well, is that something that I guess moving forward, because most because when this question was given to me, I did go look at a couple of other county websites, and they are
Mm-hmm.
able. Not saying that we're all the same size or anything, but those county reports and financial reports, they were readily available
Okay.
in an area. So,
Right.
with that being said, is that something that maybe we can look forward to in 2024? Is those things being more accessible?
I that and honestly, those documents that you're talking about, they come out of the county clerk's office. So I can definitely get with the county clerk and discuss this with her, and see if we can't, get something going with that, and to see who's even over it, who's in charge of it, and see if we can't help be more transparent in that area.
Okay. All right. So, I guess the jail did not pass, but it is not dead yet because there are still questions regarding the jail, the special election that we had for the jail. Do we know
Mm-hmm.
what the taxpayer cost for that special election was?
I do not know the actual breakdown cost of it, so I do not want to report false information. I can definitely get with the county clerk's office to get to get the bottom line total,
Okay.
um, that it did cost to have this special election. And the way we paid for the special election was we did an appropriation ordinance, and every year when we work on our budgets, we have to each office is required to put an amount of insurance and risk management and that those type of line items in,
Mm-hmm.
and we just try to anticipate what we think each office will have to spend. And we were fortunate that we did not spend all of the money out of those line items, and so we were able to use that funds that were already budgeted, and we just did an appropriation ordinance, and it all came out of the general fund. So it was already budgeted money. So as far as costing the taxpayers new money, it did not. It was already budgeted money, and we just had to shift it around to put it into the election line.
So, if I'm correct, you said each department. So you're saying like the police, the county, sheriff's office, the when you say each department builds in that kind of cushion, what do you mean by each department?
Well, like for for example, you have the county clerk's office, you have the circuit clerk's office, the collector's office, the treasurer's office, and the assessor's office.
Okay.
But as
So,
far as any of that money coming from the jail, it did not, because by law, the jail it can't spend money on a special election.
gotcha. Okay. Okay. So it did come out of the general fund, but it wasn't any new money. It was money that was already kind of a cushion that was already kind of built in.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily call it a cushion. I mean, because we just, from year to year, your insurance premiums and different things like that may change, and your risk management funds amounts may change as well. So we just try to base those off of, you know, the past and the average of what we spent in the past. But there was monies left over from that, and so we were able to use those. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So we've been seeing that there's a new building in Louisville, kind of across the street from the jail. Can you kind of
Mhm.
tell the people what that is, how it came about, and what it will be utilized for?
Yes, ma'am. When in 2020, when we went through the pandemic, and I don't know if this was actually in 2020 or if it was in 2021, they had allocated monies to apply for grants for and for kind of like building, well, like this, the training center is what we're calling it. But it was like classified more like a pandemic. I mean, yeah, a pandemic center. So say we were ever in another pandemic, and we needed to have places set up for people to receive information, or to have if they needed to get their COVID shot or things like that. Danny applied for that grant, and he received it, and he received $300,000. Well, in the midst of getting all the grant paperwork done and submitted, and the county getting the allotted funds that they had been awarded, everything went sky high. And so a building that was only going to cost, say, right at 300,000 to build, when he got to looking into it, was going to be right at 700,000. And so he decided, he got with Southwest Planning and Development and said, we've got an election going on. If you don't mind, can we hold those funds and allow the new judge coming in to make the final decision if we want to just return the money or exactly what we want to do? Well, naturally, things are still very costly at this point. And so I couldn't see where the county could afford to spend a lot of money to go along with this grant money. And so I honestly was going to send the money back. Well, they were able to find another $100,000 that they awarded us. So the total grant amount was 400,000. And so we were able to work with that amount. But I did not want COVID or anything like that associated with that building, because that was just such a scary time in our life. And it was, I thought, I don't want to keep having to look out there and it remind me of that time. And so we decided to name it the Lafayette County Training Center. And what that will be used for any kind of meetings that the county has to have. Like if we have to have, say, we need to take a flagging class for the shop, we can have that there. They're going to do CPR training over there. If the deputies have a class they need to take, they're going to be able to do that over there as well. And I'm really excited about it. It gives it kind of a new look over there across the street. And I'm excited to, when this gets finished, we'll have a grand opening and people can come by and take a tour of it and all. But it's gonna serve the county well. And it's also, when I say like it's just for the county employees, but I mean it's going to be for like the volunteer fire departments and different things like that too.
Okay. All right. And when is that building slated to be done?
Well, when I talked to the engineering firm last week, as they're just about finished with the whole project. I've they're They had said maybe in 2 weeks. I think that was maybe their projected time. I think they said they would probably just be able to wrap it up in about 2 weeks. So it's not much longer, and it'll be completely finished.
Okay. Okay. Now, I have a question regarding collaboration. Um, I know that during this last little ice situation or snow or whatever we had going on, um, I know some people were reaching out to different entities to see if they could find um, stuff to dirt or sometimes just even asphalt or whatever to put down on the grounds. Um, is there not a way for the cities and the county to collaborate in maybe purchasing these things to make sure that they're on hand for the county and the cities, like working together to make sure that we have these supplies?
Well, now as far as the county, we like say example for the when we thought we were going to get the ice and stuff, we were uh, we were prepared. We kind of had a feeling that this was coming, and sorry about that. And so we were able to go out and buy salt for the county bridges and take care of all of that. And I mean, and I'm always willing to work with the cities by all means, but I did have one city to reach out to me, and at that time we did not have we had used up everything that we had purchased, and we
Hmm.
did not have any to help out with.
Okay. And I guess that's kind of what goes back into my question earlier about the emergency preparedness, because to me that's like almost an emergency. Um, is there some way for you guys to collab, not even on that emergency aspect, but as far as what I asked about the supplies as well? Is that something that the county would be open to do? Because I'm pretty sure I always say there's power in numbers that purchase. And normally, when you get together and you have more purchasing power, you guys can probably, you get an outlook on what the weather is going to be from the OEM, and you guys can kind of all prepare together. That way, the whole county, even the cities, not just the county, the whole county as a whole is prepared.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't have a problem at all. I mean, the only thing that I would ask is that, the mayors just reach out to me. I mean, and that's one of my biggest things is I never want the mayors in our cities to ever feel like I'm trying to, trying to get, step on their toes as far as running their, the cities. And so yeah, I don't have a problem working with them at all. They, if they'll just reach out and say, hey, we've got this coming up, or what are you doing, and can we do this together? And but yeah, I don't have an issue with that at all.
Okay, okay. All right, do we have any other questions that have come up? Okay, let me check and make sure I've got all of my questions. Uh, Now, as far as the county judge, and I know you kind of explained a little bit about your role in the beginning, but can you explain? Because I was educated on this as well. What are you over, or what do you have say so over as far as the county? Because I think we had a
Okay.
conversation a few weeks back about some things that were going on with the county sheriff's office, and you said you did not have any. They kind of run their own thing.
Right, and I'm really glad that you brought that up and that you've asked this. As the county judge, these are the executive powers that I have the authority over. And it says Arkansas Constitution Amendment 55, Code 3 established the following executive powers to be administered by the county judge: to preside over the county quorum court without a vote but with the power of veto, to authorize and approve disbursements of appropriated county funds, to operate the system of county roads, to administer ordinances enacted by the quorum court, to have custody of county property, and to hire county employees except those persons employed by other elected officials of the county. And then it goes on to say, in the performance of such executive duties, the county judge shall be bonded in the manner provided by law as required in the Arkansas Constitution Amendment 55 Code 6. So, with that being said, we're all the elected officials, we're all elected, and so each official is over its own, what I would call, like, department. For
Mm-hmm.
example, like the treasurer, she is over the treasurer's office and the collector's office. The assessor's over the assessor's office, and so on and so forth. So I do not have the jurisdiction to tell them how to run their office, to tell them who they can, hire, who they have to fire. I don't have that authority. That is, that's left up to each elected official.
Okay. Okay. Just to be clear and transparent for some of our listeners, you have no say so with like any contracts as far as their jail contracts with the cities or anything to those natures as well.
Well, now the county judge, we sign, like, if there's contracts, we sign all contracts, even with all the other offices as well.
Okay.
But it has to be in a contract form between the two. If it's between the sheriff's department and one of the cities, or, like, for example, the sheriff's department and the county's physician that they have on hand for that attends to the inmates. Those are contracts that we sign, but we also I sign contracts for, like, it's called financial intelligence. For example, the county clerk and the county treasurer's office. That's the software system that they use in their office, and I have to sign off on those contracts as well.
Okay. Okay. Um, there was one
But now, as
question.
far as,
Oh,
like,
oh go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, but now, as far as, like, policy and procedure from each office, from each official's office, I do not have anything. I'm not over that. I don't have to sign off on those. That is between the official and his administration or her administration and their employees.
Okay. Okay. Um, there's been a lot of talk about there was some equipment that was sold when you got into office.
Mm-hmm.
Could you kind of elaborate on that? What was sold, why it was sold, um, etc.
Uh-huh. I can. When I came into office, like you said, there was equipment down there that we had not. Number one, we had not used it either in years and years, or it was currently not working, and I didn't see the need to try to keep repairing old equipment because that just keeps costing more money. And so I made an executive decision to put it through a nut auction over there in Garland, and so they took care of all of that for us.